emergence of DeepSeek now putting pressure on the U.S. tech names.
It's super impressive. I think we should take the development out of China very, very seriously.
DeepSeek just taught us that the answer is less than people thought. You don't need as much cash as we once thought.
Can you imagine how annoying it is to see you build your house for $50 million and a guy next door builds the same house for $700,000? That's got to be frustrating.
It should be a wake-up call for our industries that we need to be laser-focused.
That necessity is the mother of invention.
Nvidia won the artificial intelligence race by building a trillion-dollar hardware monopoly. But that wasn't the end of the story.
As a chip-making giant, Nvidia broke the $3 trillion valuation mark.
Now, a rogue AI startup is coming for the single most profitable toll booth in tech. And this time, they're not looking for a clever software trick. They're going after the hardware itself. For years, every major AI lab has accepted a brutal rule. If you want to scale your software, you have to pay the Nvidia tax. You buy their general-purpose graphics cards. You run your inference workloads on their metal, and you hand over a massive chunk of your operating margins. But DeepSeek realized something dangerous. A landlord can raise the rent, cut your supply, or evict you overnight. This is the story of how an independent AI lab decided to stop renting, bypass the world's most dominant hardware giant, and quietly design its own custom silicon from scratch. And if this gamble pays off, the trillion-dollar chip monopoly might find out what happens when the tenants finally build their own building. If you like your tech documentaries without the fluff and hype, hit subscribe below, and let's dive into how the Silicon War is actually changing. To understand the magnitude of what is happening right now, we have to look at the brutal economics of artificial intelligence. In the AI world, there are two distinct phases of life for a model: training and inference. When you hear about companies spending tens of billions of dollars buying Nvidia H100s or the new Blackwell B200s, they are usually talking about training. Training is like sending an AI to university. You dump oceans of data into the model, and it takes months of massive, brute force computational power to teach the AI how to understand patterns, reason, and process language. Nvidia has a near absolute monopoly on this phase, selling hyper-advanced graphics processors that link together in massive, liquid-cooled supercomputers. But training only happens once per model generation. The real financial bloodbath happens in the second phase: inference. Inference is what happens every single time a user asks the AI a question. Every time you ask a chatbot to write an email, summarize a document, or generate code, the AI has to infer the answer in real time. If millions of people are using your AI every day, inference costs will absolutely bankrupt you. General-purpose graphics chips are incredibly powerful, but they are also incredibly power-hungry and expensive to run. Using a $40,000 Nvidia chip to generate a quick text response is like using a Formula One race car to drive to the grocery store. It works, but the fuel costs will eventually destroy your business. This is the silicon rent trap. You build great software product, you get millions of active users, and your reward is that your server costs explode exponentially, funneling almost all your operating profits directly into Nvidia's bank account. You cannot optimize your way out of it purely through software tweaks. As long as you are using general-purpose hardware to run your specific AI models, you are bleeding cash at scale. The only way to survive long-term is to build a vehicle specifically designed for that grocery run. You have to design your own custom silicon, and the blueprint for how to do this was drawn up by a company that learned this lesson long before the rest of the world caught on. Way back in 2013, Google had a terrifying realization. People were starting to use voice search and speech recognition on their Android smartphones. Google engineers did the math and discovered a terrifying projection. If every Android user spoke to their phone for just 3 minutes a day, Google would have to double its entire global footprint of physical data centers just to handle the extra compute load. Buying standard graphics cards or server processors to handle that specific task would have bankrupted even a company as wealthy as Google. So, they initiated a top-secret hardware project inside their labs. They didn't try to build a chip that could do everything. They built a chip that was hard-coded to do exactly one mathematical operation perfectly: matrix multiplication. They called it the Tensor Processing Unit, or TPU. When Google deployed the first-generation TPU for inference in 2015, the results were staggering. It was 15 to 30 times faster than contemporary graphics processors for their specific AI workloads, and its energy efficiency was off the charts. Google had secretly disconnected itself from the hardware market. Fast forward to today. While Nvidia is rolling out its hyper-expensive Blackwell architecture to dominate headlines, Google is quietly deploying its 6th-generation TPU, code-named Trillium. Trillium is a marvel of hyperscale engineering. While Nvidia builds the ultimate flexible supercomputer chip that everyone can buy on the open market, Google builds an ultra-specialized, optical circuit switched hardware ecosystem that no one can buy. You can only rent time on it through Google Cloud. Google's TPUs now power Gemini, Google Search AI, and AlphaFold. Because Google owns the silicon, the software compiler, and the application framework, they achieve a level of hardware-software co-design that no third-party chip buyer can touch. In recent large-scale benchmarks, inference workloads migrated to TPU clusters saw their monthly operational costs drop by up to 65%. Google proved that if a software giant wants to secure its long-term future, it has to become a hardware giant. Apple is learning this lesson with its own data center chips. OpenAI and Microsoft are aggressively exploring custom chip programs. But having the capital and vision to build a custom chip is only half the battle. Because to actually manufacture a chip, you need access to a global supply chain. But what happens if that supply chain becomes a political battlefield? Enter DeepSeek. Operating as a lean, hyper-focused startup team, DeepSeek burst onto the global stage and completely disrupted the AI establishment. They produced large language models that rivaled the best systems in Silicon Valley, but they did it at a fraction of the compute cost. They pioneered software efficiencies, like advanced mixture of experts architectures, that proved you could punch way above your weight class with brilliant engineering. However, software efficiency alone is not enough when you scale to hundreds of millions of daily queries. Reports confirmed that DeepSeek was not resting on its software laurels. Behind closed doors, they had begun assembling a dedicated team of semiconductor engineers. DeepSeek is building its own custom AI chip. And just like Google's original TPU project, they are laser-focused on one thing. Accelerating inference. DeepSeek started a fierce price war in mid-2026. Slashing API prices by up to 75% to undercut traditional cloud providers. But to sustain those dirt-cheap prices without burning through their war chest, they must radically push down their underlying hardware costs. They cannot do that if they are renting expensive third-party server capacity. DeepSeek is caught in a unique vice grip. On one side, international trade restrictions and export controls make acquiring top-tier Western hardware extremely difficult and volatile. High-bandwidth memory chips and advanced accelerators are heavily monitored. On the other side, domestic hardware alternatives exist, but relying entirely on a single domestic giant means trading one hardware landlord for another. DeepSeek knows that if they rely completely on third-party silicon suppliers, they hand over their financial margins and technical roadmap to someone else. To survive, DeepSeek has chosen the path of total hardware independence. But pulling off a custom chip design when you are disconnected from the primary global foundries is like trying to build a supersonic jet inside a local garage. Designing a custom microchip is brutally expensive, but the real engineering nightmare is manufacturing it. Standard high-performance chips designed by Western companies are sent directly to advanced foundries like TSMC in Taiwan, utilizing cutting-edge 3-nanometer processes. These ultra-dense nodes allow engineers to cram tens of billions of transistors into a space the size of a postage stamp. DeepSeek does not have seamless access to those bleeding-edge 3-nanometer manufacturing lines. They are forced to rely on manufacturing nodes that are several generations behind, often capped around 7-nanometer processes. If you try to build a general-purpose AI chip on a 7-nanometer process using standard design principles, the physical chip will end up too large, produce far too much heat, and yield terrible manufacturing efficiency. You simply cannot win a brute force hardware contest on an older manufacturing node. So DeepSeek is playing an entirely different game: extreme hardware-software co-design. Because DeepSeek designs its AI models from scratch, their hardware team knows precisely how the mathematical data flows. Their models rely heavily on a mixture of experts architecture. In simple terms, instead of activating the entire neural network for every single word generated, the software routes queries to tiny, specialized subnetworks. At any given moment, only a small fraction of the total parameters are actively calculating. Standard graphics processors are not built for this sparse, routing-heavy style of math. They are built for dense, massive matrix calculations. DeepSeek's custom silicon initiative flips this design paradigm on its head. Instead of building a massive general-purpose processor and forcing their software to fit on it, they are designing physical circuits that mimic the exact routing patterns of their sparse AI software. They are literally hard-coding their software architecture into the physical silicon wafer. By stripping away all the unnecessary general-purpose computing blocks that their software never uses, they can achieve incredible speed and energy efficiency on an older 7-nanometer manufacturing node. They don't need a 3-nanometer brute force monster, because there is zero wasted movement inside the chip. This is the ultimate workaround. It proves that clever architectural alignment between code and copper can overcome physical manufacturing disadvantages. We are watching the permanent splintering of the global technology stack. For the last 40 years, the technology industry operated like a layered cake. Component makers provided the silicon, operating system vendors provided the platforms, and software developers built applications on top. Everyone played within a standardized global ecosystem. That era is over. Today, any software company that reaches massive scale eventually realizes that if they do not own their silicon, they are paying a permanent tax to a hardware monopoly. Google proved a decade ago that custom silicon was the key to scaling services to billions of users affordably. Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta followed suit by designing their own custom AI accelerators for their data centers. And now, independent AI labs and startups like DeepSeek are proving that even under heavy supply chain pressure, the imperative for hardware independence will always force a way forward. Nvidia remains an incredible powerhouse, building some of the most complex supercomputing hardware in human history. But their biggest long-term threat isn't another traditional chip maker trying to build a better graphics card. Their biggest threat is that their own largest customers are figuring out how to cut the middleman out entirely. The era of renting your foundation is coming to an end. The future of artificial intelligence belongs to the companies that own every single layer of the stack, from the code on your screen all the way down to the custom silicon humming in the dark.